Well, hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 6 of the North American Grand Prix Monday night, 1991 Formula One Championship, coming to you live from Mexico, Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, Mexico 1988 version. And the clock has just ticked over to qualifying, and I am joined by my broadcast partner here tonight, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Hi, Al. Yeah, great little track, great little bullring, twisty bullring around this place. We're looking at 1 minute 15s thereabouts for the qualifying time. 1:13s rather, I should say. Tight grid. Oh man, this is going to be a great race, Al. Lots of things to get to and to cover on how these guys are going to try to approach this track tonight. But it's a good challenge tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
While these guys make their way out on their outlap, take a look at the track map. 14 corners. 4.42 kilometers, just under 3 miles. A bit different than the modern day version of Mexico. You got that long banked final corner leading on to the very long main straight. We're going to jump on board here with, looks like John Houston going to be leading the field here and making his way through turn 1 as we speak.
Final corner, you mean? You on board Houston?
Yeah.
I missed a bit of you there, Al. Who's going for that pass there? Ian. Well, in any event.
Oh, probably not a good way to start that one, as these two have it coming together here in turn 1, but looks like Taylor has kept it together.
Yeah, well, it's going to be second or third gear coming in. It's a very chicane-like first corner there. Matt Taylor now heading into turn 4, and it's a high-speed affair there, but then it all changes for this track. Sticking in third gear, whoa. Okay, so Matt Taylor, big slide there. You know what? That is indicative of the whole track, Al. Grip at a real premium around here, and you see Matt Taylor, look, looks like he's driving through this section really slowly. Well, he's not really, but he also kind of has to, because, man, the car is going to fight you all the way through these little twisty sections. He's right, left, right, left. Never having as much front grip as you want, and the back end's constantly coming around, but boy, you got to get on this corner just right and get on the accelerator, because, Al, it's like 1/3 of a track left. You're going to be on the accelerator. So coming up here to the last corner, guys having a lot of trouble on the qualifying tire, by the way. At this last corner, as Matt Taylor goes off, having a lot of trouble there, these guys on the qualifying tire.
Wow.
Getting too hot.
I was struggling there for grip there in the final corner as Chris Moses sets a provisional pole with a 1:14, quickly eclipsed by Philippe Samard, carrying 20 kilograms of ballast for tonight's race. 1:13.9, so it's Samard, Moses, and once again we see Miller, Kevin Miller, doing well here in this qualifying session.
Yeah, I think Samard's going to be happy with that time, Al. He had not quite dipped that low in our official practice session, so I think that's one of his better times. So.
Peanut Gangster joining us on the broadcast. Welcome. People squawking about the stream past last week about some chopping. It's going to broadcast directly to Twitch here tonight. It's just, I don't know if that restream tool we've been using for YouTube and Twitch is having any kind of effect. But see how it goes here tonight as see Lemansky jumps up to second. Lemansky with a great finish last week in third. Pretty quiet run for him last week. Pretty much on his own most of the night, surprisingly. But he is coming out of the pit lane now and provisionally in the second position.
Boy, he has been putting in some great times in the week of practice, Kevin Lemansky as well.
Just a quick note, the previous track record here was a 1:14.9 set by Aaron Parsons in 98T, and that's been quickly smashed here.
Yeah, it's hard to say how low we're going to go. I think mid-13s, maybe even low 13s is possible, but I would look more toward mid-13s. But whatever happens, Al, a lot of these guys are going to be really close together. This is a short track, and these times are going to get very close.
Houston looking quick in sector 2. Nope, he's parked it. Back to Wathen here, as he is currently in 5th. Just half a second off. Wathen put in quite a bit of practice for this event.
Yeah, it was also looking sharp in that qualifying period, and like I said, I was watching guys in the practice period there on the qualifying tire, and a lot of them were struggling at that final corner to get through there. You know, that left rear is just getting overheated, and it's spinning away from them.
So that's Traskell off track. Driver's right. See Wathen through this second sector, only 2/10 off in sector 1. 3/10 off in sector 2. He could improve here, depending how he nails his final corner.
Got a pretty good exit coming off the final corner there. More or less, not the final corner, but it's the last one you want to be lifting off of.
Yeah, turn 13, like you said. Very important corner, and he does not improve. Lost a bunch of time there. Miller, meanwhile, even
in that final corner.
And green in sector 2. This is going to be a great lap for Kevin. May jump him up to provisional pole. No. Ooh, lost a bunch of time in the final sector. To third, though.
Oh, it's going to be frantic action, Al. And boy, lap traffic really going to come into play also.
Mike Monahan making his way through this tight middle sector here through turn 13, hard on the throttle. Losing a bunch of time there in the middle. 1.3 off sector 2. John Ricker sets his personal best, 1:14.6. And Monahan looks like he is not going to improve on that time. Samard, meanwhile, on a flyer. Well, the championship leaders carrying weight, I believe, minus Mark DeGraaf. Samard, Romansky, Parsons, PMR boys, they're all carrying weight. Jolicoeur and DeGraaf is up in sector 2. Samard is even. Lemansky's looking green in sector 1. Let's check out Samard here. Might get a tow off this car ahead. That's Parsons just up ahead. And DeGraaf up to 5th. Mose is up big in sector 2. Half a second. Ooh, gets a little wobble. A little bit of a wobble. Oh, it's going to be good enough for a provisional pole. 1:13.9. Now Lemansky, bit of a butcher shop in sector 2. Oh, it looks like he's backed out of it. There's the difference.
Already the top 11 separated here, just all within 1 second in terms of lap time so far.
Samard, 100th of a second off of Chris Moses' time. Mansky on an out lap. Who's starting to fly here? That's Kevin Miller. Ooh, and he's up in sector 1. Had an unfortunate demise last week at Montreal, having to come together with his teammate. Terminal damage.
Yeah, after having what appeared to be such strong pace.
Bit of a moment
fighting
there.
The car constantly. Yeah, constantly wanting to get away from you at the front and the rear, coming through these corners constantly. But this is the one you got to get right here. And you know what? He's done a pretty good job, Al. I think he is in line to improve.
Kind of comes around the final bend.
And a downshift, interestingly.
I've noticed a few guys doing that, and he improves his personal best, 1:14.1, but remains in 4th. Samard up in the first sector. That's frantic qualifying session already.
Yeah, and it's only going to intensify here as guys try to get their best lap in, but keep getting stymied by traffic or spins or what have you. And wow, Samard really on a good lap here, Al. Just nailed the second sector.
Even. Personal best was a 13-2 in practice. Ooh, very clean through that final corner. It's going to be a good lap. Oh, yeah. Picks up a bunch of time in that final sector. 1:13.4. Keep in mind, he's carrying 20 kilograms of ballast as Moses is about to start a lap. Sorry, that's Lemansky and Jolicoeur. These guys dragging each other down the main straight. Lemansky, I believe he might be on an outlap. Jolicoeur and his teammate, both with weight.
Yeah, Ian currently only back there in 9th provisionally, so a bit of work to do with half this session run off the board so far. Boy, those guys put in such a strong run last week. Ian Jolicoeur and Philippe Samard really improved their points position.
Big lurch there from Jolicoeur. Parsons 1:14.1 jumps up to 4th, dropping Miller back a spot. Jack Ivey made his triumphant return here to Monday nights. Good to see. And Jolicoeur lost again a bunch of time in Sector 2. And he comes to the line. Should improve. Yep, up to 6th. Miller really doing well in Sector 1. He's been showing green nearly every lap, hot lap he's tried.
Yeah, got a lot of downforce options around here too. You can take off quite a bit of the aero to improve your straight line speed, and it will have an effect around here. Obviously you're going to lose out, but you can set the car up multiple ways around this place.
Good looking Sector 2 and a good looking Sector 3. This is going to be interesting. Miller could jump up to the top 3. Oh, another downshift. Interesting.
Lap though.
Ooh, the second with a 1:13.8 for Kevin Miller. Moses right behind him. Let's see if he can drop him back a spot. Moses to the line. No, not happening.
Boy, Samard has really nailed that final sector.
Oh, yeah. Yep, for sure. Let's see, Lemansky. I don't think he's going to pick up any position. He does not. So it's, Jake Feemster up to 4th. He just jumped up to 4th, dropping Lemansky down a spot. Great lap for Jake. Seen Jake hit or miss some tracks. Some tracks he's really competitive, and others, like last week at Montreal, bit off the mark, off the pace, but looks like he's found his pace here tonight. Lemansky down to 5th. Parsons 6th. Jolicoeur there in 7th. Run down the drivers here. Wathen in the top 10 in 8th. DeGrasse. A little miffed to see him back there in 9th. Greg Myers in 10th. David Zahn in the 11th. Matt Taylor. Taylor struggling a bit compared to all the other guys with the weight. He is languishing back in 13th. Sean Ricker back in 14th. Joel Ekman 15th. Rally up in 16th. Ryan Robbins 17th. Mike Monahan in 18th. Chuck Carter running in the 19th spot. Peter Burke 20th. Traskell 21. Jonathan Cuppett making his debut here on Monday this season. Currently in 22nd. He's going to be carrying a little bit extra weight. Ryan Story with the penalty, and Jack Ivey is yet to set a time. Looks like he's going to start from, not set a time here, and start from the back. So back on board here with Jolicoeur as he winds his way through the final corners. Could move him up, and it does. Wow!
Oh yeah,
nailed it. Man, he was off in both the last 2 sectors, Sector 2 and 3, but Parsons looking strong here. Let's see what he can do. Oh! Parsons back. Well, he actually jumps up to 5th.
Yeah, he definitely improved.
So 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go here in this frantic qualifying session. Looks, time's really going by quickly. 25 minutes session.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and sure, some of these guys would like more time on the clock. That some more time is going to be difficult to get to, I think, for some of these guys. They're going to have to try some adjustments, I think. They want to find that extra half second they need.
Miller from third loses a bit of time in sector 2. Kind of wonder if he didn't drop down a gear that time, kept it in 6th. Not going to improve. So Samad in the pits. He's stationary. Let's see. Moses is on an outlap. Cuppet has yet to set a competitive time back there in 20 seconds. See, Wathen's about to start a flyer. See what kind of mile per hour he gets to before he jumps on the brakes. 91, 92. It's about 192 miles an hour at the end of that straight.
Yeah, and let's not forget, qualifying's one thing around here, but the race is quite another. The action's pretty frantic for this qualifying session, trying to find space, trying to make your best lap, trying to keep the tires underneath you, but but the race is going to be a whole nother ball of wax on this type of track. A lot of traffic going to be in play in that race as well.
Jolicoeur, he is 4/10 off his teammate. Moses is green in sector 1. Jolicoeur down a 10th in sector 1.
That's gonna hurt. Oh.
Yeah, way off the pace. Moses is even through the first 2 sectors. To the line. Ooh, the second.
Closer.
Yeah, with a 1:13.7 flat. Parson, ooh, Samard up big in sector 1.
Wow.
Parsons dropping a gear as well, going through that final corner. And he is not going to improve. He remains in 5th. David's on with a good first sector. Let's catch up with Samad as he's midway through this lap. And again, up in sector 2.
Bothering with the downshift to 5th. He's geared it so he just holds 5th all the way to the final corner.
Ooh, no improvement there for Samard. Interesting. Zahn, meanwhile, could jump a spot here depending on how he manages that final sector, and he is not going to. He improved his time, but going to remain in 13th. Mark DeGraw back in 10th. And it just looks like he does not have it figured out here tonight. Teaming up a newly formed. Oh, he's going to pull it off track. His new teammate, meanwhile, Kevin Mamansky, running in 7th. These two have joined forces here to complete the remainder of the season.
Mansky up big on his time, his own time. But boy, that can just go away so quickly through this sector here. It's such a... Yeah, not looking so good now. It can just bleed away so fast. The smallest errors coming through this section.
Yeah, the backside.
Was ahead 3/10 on his time, and when he pulled it off, he was 5/10 worse than his best time.
Let's see what we have here. Oh, Moses on an out lap. Miller, meanwhile, on a flyer.
We know he's been getting good, getting very good through the first sector. See if that holds true. Yeah, still pretty good. Yeah, 4 minutes left to play, so time is dwindling away for these guys, and I'm sure they've experienced some traffic.
Good looking sector 2. Like Miller may be set up for a little bit more downforce. He tends to lose time here down this final corner here onto the main straight. Ooh, runs it a bit wide. Does not improve. Samard, meanwhile, had another good first sector.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's made some adjustments to that car to try to get a bit better in a sector here or there. Wow.
Wow, does not improve. Oh, I take that back. He does improve just slightly over his personal best. It was a 113.4. I think he picked up maybe 100% or so. Whoa! Well, the car is coming out of the pits almost at a moment with the car on the straight. Oh, 2 minutes and change here before this session's done. It's Samard, Moses, Jolicoeur, and Miller, and Matt Taylor. Brad, that's the story right now in this session. Back at 14th.
Wow. Yeah, that is a shock. Yeah, it's been focused so far up, toward the front of the grid here, and failed to look way back there and see Matt Taylor. Boy, up to 195 on my end here from what I saw, so running a bit less downforce, I'd say.
Let's see as Jolicoeur makes his way down the front straight. Getting a little bit of help from his teammate, looked like. Bit of a tow. Last week's winner. Oh, big moment there for Jolicoeur. Now lost a big bunch of time. He's going to pull it off. Yep.
Boy, Taylor's back into the pits, and if he doesn't get out right now, he's not going to get another lap in.
Oh, and Moses a little too quick on the throttle there. Throws it off. With Aaron Parsons. What a miserable result he had last week, Brad.
Oh, it was just bad luck. There was just nothing for it, and
battle back, managed to
he salvaged
a point or two, right?
That's what he could.
Oh boy. Not sure. That looks like, not sure who that was, but someone facing the opposite direction on track took out Parsons.
Speaking of bad luck.
Yeah, the hits just keep on coming for Parsons here in the middle part of this season.
Often done.
30 seconds to go. Moses is done. Jolicoeur looks like he's going to have a Joel Ekman now up to 7th. He's looking mighty quick.
Oh, that was a nice lap, and that was recent.
Jolicoeur, is he going to get this one in? He is. He's going to get it
Yeah,
going.
he is.
Timed it just perfectly. Up to 195. Down the straight.
All the marbles right here. Yeah. That's pretty fast, so he may not be using much downforce there either. We know his teammate Philippe really strong in the second and third sector.
Jolicoeur off half a second in sector 1. Gonna have a lot of work to do if he wants to make up that deficit in the
Looking at the performance still there, right now he's still doing okay. He's still up on his time. He's got an excellent shot at Moses here late in this session.
Session's over. Drops to 5th, back up to 6th perhaps. Going to keep it tight. No, he's going to hang on. Oh yeah, nips Moses there right at the end. 1:13.6, great lap for Jolicoeur. It's going to be a French connection 1-2. Stunning turn of events here. Unbelievable. So Philippe Simard, your pole setter here with a 1:13.4. A lot of guys, top 5 I see in the 13s. Parsons dipped into the 13s there. Snuck that in late, but man, Jake Feemster, Joel Ekman in the top 10, Greg Myers in the top 10. Pretty impressive qualifying session, Brad.
Yeah, it was fast and furious, more or less like we expected, but none more fast or furious than the two up front, Simard and Jolicoeur, the teammates, the French connection, putting in such a great result last week and vaulting themselves up in points. They're looking just as sharp here tonight, Al, and ooh, this could be problems for the rest of the field if they don't find a way to crack those two up front. How about that, Matt Taylor? The PMR Matt Taylor suffering back there, Al, in with the 14th.
Yeah, pretty eye-opening result there from Matt. It's very surprising to see him back there. I mean, he's on equal footing with the other guys up near the front carrying that weight, so something's off there with that setup of his. But the session's over. We got about a 5-minute countdown here before we go green. Going to touch on the point standings here in this all-important round 6, halfway point of the season. Philippe Simard leading overall with 83 points. I'll make that 84 after that poll here tonight. Aaron Parsons in second with 76. Mark DeGraw third with 64. It's showing a little off the pace here tonight. Matt Taylor and Moses tied for 4th with 61 points, and Houston in 5th with 56. And Lemansky right there in 7th with 52 points. So really tight 1 through 7 here in the point standings. In terms of the team championship, bit of a shocker here, Brad, as T-Brock Dan Bam leading thus far through 5 rounds with 132 points. That's Houston and Parsons. The French connection, Simard and Jolicoeur with 127 points, well, 28 now. Is 4 points shy of the leaders. And PMR, the long running here, multiple Monday Night Open Wheel Championship winning team, back in 3rd with 122 points. And it's going to be an uphill climb for them tonight as well, as Taylor back there qualifying, I believe, in the 14th or 15th position. The new Leger team of Lemansky and DeGraw, they are, believe, let's see, 116 points. So they're back there in 4th. Your Dog My Face Racing in 5th.
Yeah, well, I think if you're PMR, you're on the outside looking in, but not really. I mean, you're down 10 points off the leading T-Brock Dan Bam guys, Aaron Parsons and John Houston. You know what? If you're PMR right now, that's not so bad. I mean, it was Chris Moses taking only 7 points for the first 2 races, and teammate Matt Taylor, 25 or something like that. Not such a great start if you're PMR. So I think right now, if you're those guys sitting third and basically still right there, you're thinking things could be a lot worse. Now, you're right. Taylor here tonight back in 14th, that puts him in danger zone of having a mishap back there. We saw that happen to Parsons last week, right? So not too much trouble necessarily for those guys. But, it's a fascinating point situation. And it's halfway. It's the halfway mark. So plenty of time to go. But now's the time you don't want to make mistakes. You definitely want to solidify your position at this point going forward to make that late season push.
So it's going to be 46 laps here tonight. Going back to last season, season 31, Jolicoeur actually won this race. Taylor second, Parsons third. Race lasted 1 hour and 2 minutes. Race should be more than likely a little bit quicker here tonight. Strategy information, Brad. Soft, mediums. It looks like I see most of the guys are on the medium, aside from Lemansky on the qualifying tire, which I'm sure that will change. But don't see the softs out there, Brad. I think that final corner is it's a tough track for the soft compound tire.
Yeah, I would suggest that guys that are running 2 stops would want to run the soft, even if it does overheat at the final corner. But if they can't even think that they can get away with 2 stops by using the softs, you know that the tire compound isn't such a great idea, right? I don't know we're going to see many guys try to stretch those mediums to halfway. Maybe a few, but I suspect a lot of these guys are going to be looking at the 2 stops on the medium. So we'll see how the race shakes out. If the times hold, if the tires stay good, then they'll try to go to halfway. But I think it's still an open question.
All right, let's run down the starting order for tonight's event. It's going to be Philippe Samard starting from pole position, followed by his teammate, pair of Canadians, Ian Jolicoeur in second. Chris Moses is going to be starting in third. Kevin Miller, another impressive showing here in qualifying, in fourth. Aaron Parsons in fifth.
Jake Feemster put in a nice time there, up to 6th. Joel Ekman as well, starting right beside in 7th. Kevin Lemansky starts 8th. Greg Myers, nice time for 9th. And John Wathen starts 10th.
Mark DeGras going to be starting in 11th. John Houston. Houston back there in 12th. David Zahn in 13th. Impressive run there for Zahn. Out-qualifies Matt Taylor in 14th. And Sean Ricker starting in 15th.
Yeah, Chuck Carter in 16th, Ryan Robbins 17th, David Rowley 18th, Peter Burke 19th, Mike Monahan 20th, and who else do we have here? Cuppett 21st, Traskell 22nd, Ivy 23rd, Story 24th.
There's your running order here tonight, Brad. This turn 1 is going to be interesting, going to be carrying a lot of speed going into that corner for these guys.
Those teammates got to stay off each other at the front. That's all I'm saying.
And we are green here from Mexico. Great start from Chris Moses. Jolicoeur turns down into him, trying to defend, but defending a little too late. That could have been really ugly. Moses gets into the back of Samard. Moses is off as well. Unbelievable. Kevin Miller, meanwhile, is going to take over the lead of this race. Taylor in the pits. Taylor might be done. Taylor's done. Oh, we got another off there, Brad.
Disaster on the start.
Not sure who that was. Was that Jolicoeur who went off? John Wathen out front, leading this race. Woohoo! Unbelievable. I thought it was a timing glitch, but it is Wathen, Miller, Parsons, and Lemansky. And Ekman, your top 5 to start this one. Unbelievable set of circumstances.
Yeah, where's Houston at?
Houston, I believe, had an off. He's back at 22nd. So there was a couple cars that went off. Unbelievable.
Lemansky trying to get into the pits, just slaughters the side pod. Oh, my God. Oh, you can't even get a turn to get in the pit.
Lemansky's done. So did he start on the qualifying tire? He may have. He may have started on the qualifying tire. Moses, meanwhile, he's back. He's there in 5th.
Boy, it's hard to say what. I mean, Moses clearly got into the French Connection driver in front, but how or why it happened, who knows?
I'm not sure how Wathen. So Wathen lets Miller by. Wathen is showing a lap down. I'm not sure what's going on here. A lot of guys in the pits for service already. Wathen has spun it. I believe, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'll be honest, I have no idea how Wathen ended up in front. But nonetheless, it's Miller, followed by Parsons, Jolicoeur, Ekman. Moses back in 5th, DeGraw up to 6th. David's on, it's checked out. So Monahan's on, Taylor, Lemansky, done. Cup it out. So, well, had a feeling that this first lap was going to be a bit of a nail biter here to watch, because these guys just carry so much speed going into that corner.
Oh, it's Miller going off. This track is so difficult.
Miller has gone off from the lead. Immediately drops down to 6th. Unbelievable start here. A little further back, we got Peter Burke, Traskell in 9th. Brian Story, who did not qualify due to a penalty, up to 10th. Ricker in 11th. Ricker may have some damage to the front of that car. So Parsons, your new leader here tonight.
Absolutely amazing. You know, at this rate of attrition on this track, it's a track you can expect to see some attrition at, but boy, at this pace, we're going to end up with like 4 guys running.
Peter Burke on the softs here from 8th, having a run on Ryan Robbins.
Boy, on the softs for now.
Burke and is Traskell having a look. He gets past his teammate Traskell on the softs. Robbins on the medium. Ekman now up to 3rd. Under some pressure here from Moses and DeGraw. DeGraw started in 12th. Very disappointing qualifying session. Whether he just didn't have the pace or what, but he finds himself now in the thick of it. Your third place driver in the drivers' championship standings.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big boost to him. He kind of needed it.
See, Samard has recovered. He's back at 12th after that off. Moses running it way wide.
Yeah, Moses, Jolicoeur, Samard, all those guys have to be pretty happy to still be on track and running. It's, you know, not impossible to pop the motors on these things.
See if DeGraw has a look up Moses here to 1. He does not.
Yeah, pretty savvy move. If you're DeGraw at this point, why not just hang back and let the rest of the field go off in front of you?
Kevin Miller sets fast lap of the race with a 1:17 and change. Teammate Brian Story putting the heat on Robbins in 9th. Jolicoeur somehow is back up into 2nd and 2 seconds off of Parsons, but coming under some pressure here from this train of cars. 5th up back to the 5th position. DeGraw, Moses, Ekman, and Jolicoeur in 2nd.
Yep. Yeah, the field, such as it is at this point, actually still running relatively close. But man, we have not. That's about as bad as the first incident, first lap incident as we've seen here in quite some time, and to have it come from the front runners, that's a very rare sight.
Yeah, it was kind of, it seemed like it was triggered. Initially, Moses and Jolicoeur had a little side-by-side contact down the front straight, and I'm not sure if that caught Moses off or what, but just got on the brakes a little too late and into the back of Samard.
Yeah, or some front splitter damage there could have hurt the front end braking efficiency on the Moses machine. Something like that is possible.
On board with Ricker here. This is the battle for 9th. Ekman having a solid run here, trying to put the moves on Jolicoeur up in second position.
Boy, and what an opportunity right now for the likes of Ekman and DeGraw, and Miller's still there. Traskell's still in 7th, so big opportunity for those guys.
So Jolicoeur already going defensive here on the inside. Trying to make life hard for Ekman. Ekman sets his personal best, actually fast lap of the race, of a 17.5.
Yeah, and looking at those times out, I would expect them to be faster than they are right now if these guys are running 2 stops. So I suspect that at least our front runners, they're going for 1 stop, halfway.
Samard now sets fast lap as he's trying to claw his way back into this one here in 10th. Peter Burke, he's ahead of Peter Burke, trying to reel in Ricker. This is where the action is, up here, the top 5.
Yeah, going back quickly to Samard there in 10th. He's lucky, actually, only filtered back to 10th, but a lot of guys in his way.
Moses with a moment there. Ran it a bit wide, but gathered it back together.
Yeah, there has to be at least some damage on the Moses machine, and we knew he had great pace in the week of practice, so you have to think he's just looking to hold on, try to get to his stop, get that damage repaired.
Jake Feemster, see him now. He's about to go 2 laps down. After qualifying so well. Shame we missed everything that kind of happened after the Moses incident, but he got caught up. Houston got caught up in something. Houston back in 13th. That just set off.
To assume that there was.
Go ahead, sorry.
Chain reaction, right?
Yep.
Yeah, chain reaction continuation there. Yep. Boy, yeah, Ian's, it doesn't look like his pace is bad, but at the same time, he does appear to be holding Ekman and Moses up a little bit, and DeGraw's still right there as well. Moses, bit of a slide.
Yeah, keep in mind, Moses has that front end. Ooh, that's Feemster off, or letting the guys by, but Moses with a little bit of damage to the front wing, probably costing him some front downforce after that incident.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is that, it's better to have it on the front on these cars than on the rear in general, so that's something anyway.
So the gap has remained pretty static. Meanwhile, Ricker is really doing his best here. Believe he had gotten around Robbins, but something must have happened here. He's fallen back behind him again. Both Robbins Ricker and Traskell made their way past Robbins several laps ago. Already working lap 9 here of this event. Ivy. Currently, looks like Ivy might have got cut up. He's our last car in the points here. interesting. Samard can weave his way through this traffic. We know he's got the pace on these guys to get through.
Yeah,
Ricker.
Mike Moses, of course. A little bit of damage.
Ekman now with his fast lap of the race. Ricker with a run here. Woo! He had to lift. Samard making the package deal here. Oh. Making the move on Ricker. Is Ricker going to hold it? He's gotten by Traskell. Traskell with an aggressive look on the inside. Ricker is nearly thrown it off. Easy, boys. So Samard gifted a spot there by Ricker after that late braking situation. Carter into the pits. Wathen pulled the chute? He did. I'm not sure what happened there at the start, but Wathen was showing in the lead, but that wasn't the case. So now Traskell now under some heat here from Peter Burke. Guys on the sauce. Whoa, Peter Burke had a lift on the exit of that final corner.
Yeah, the sauce just didn't hold up. It had gotten bright red on him, I'm sure, and just lost all grip there. So sauce not helping him at this point, and that's exactly what I was saying. Oh, gotta move up there. Oh, Traskell off.
Is that? Oh, Traskell's done. It's going to move Houston up to 11th. So, attrition. Meanwhile, Parsons up front. Jolicoeur starting to reel him in here. I think the top
falling into the clutches.
6, top 7 on the mediums. Or top 8. Guys on the softs look like they're really starting to struggle here. This may be a case where... Any word from the pit, Brad, if these mediums better going halfway or two-stopping it? 16 lap record here. Fast lap.
Well, looking at the lap times, it's pretty clear that they're going to try to go halfway. I mean, they're going to try to go halfway. They should have been into the 16s long before now. Had they planned on two-stopping. So all the front runners, their lap times would indicate they plan on going halfway.
On board with Ekman, having a fantastic run. Man, what a disappointment there from Miller. Found himself leading the race at the start, but not sure if he got a little gripping the wheel a little too tight or what. Had a moment, threw it off, gave up 5 spots. Still remains in 6th, but 17 seconds off the leader, Parsons. Let's see, last time by... Oh, Jolicoeur just sets fast lap of the race. Parsons set his personal best lap of the race. So these guys, Jolicoeur 2/10 quicker than Parsons last time by.
Oh yeah, and Jolicoeur now has been into the 16s actually since lap 9. So it's possible he is short on fuel and is planning on making that 2 stops. I didn't look back on that time, so we'll have to see if Jolicoeur does pop in. If he does, it's going to be within the next couple laps. But certainly has some pace on Parsons at the moment. And boy, Joel Ekman has not gone anywhere. What a great run Joel's having here, Al.
Oh yeah, very solid, unfazed here, running well in, locked into that 3rd spot. And, he's been putting pressure on Jolicoeur.
Veteran guy, but hasn't been on Assetto Corsa really all that long yet, so haven't had a chance to see him up here fighting for some of the top spots.
Late move here from Jolicoeur. He's going to hang on to it. Parsons going to defend on the inside. It's going to be advantage. Jolicoeur on exit. Let's see. Ekman looking to make a move now. Jolicoeur jumps into the lead. Ekman looking on the inside. No. Oh, Parsons had a look on the inside of Jolicoeur. Ooh, what a fight for the lead here, Brad.
Yeah, Parsons' pace really dropped quick, so I think he'll be careful. Make sure he doesn't make mistakes, even if he gives up positions to do it. I think if you're Aaron Parsons, you have to be pretty happy with your position relative to where you started. But yeah, Parsons still looking pretty frisky, doesn't he? Looks like maybe he wants that position back.
Yep. Yep, as under a second separates the top three. Good bit of driving there from Ekman. He could have really taken advantage of that situation and just tried to throw it in there, but he was really patient. Nice job. Be another. Gonna get the toe here off Parsons. This could be advantage Ekman. Almost 200, over 200 miles an hour going into turn one. Ooh, oh, Ekman. Wow, didn't push the issue there.
Well, it's the same thing for Joel right now. I mean, he kind of got gifted this great podium position. You want second place, but you just want to do it carefully. And I think that's exactly what's going on in Joel's head right now.
Jolicoeur, meanwhile, starting to put a little bit of a gap between himself and Parsons, nearly a second. 2 seconds up on Ekman. But Ekman, meanwhile, he is now owner of fast lap for the race. So he's fast lap. Keep resetting here, but Ekman, the only guy in the 15s now.
Wow, yeah, those fast laps will continue to drop. We'll see the ultimate fast laps probably in the low 15s, maybe even high 14s.
Parsons was not close enough there to get a run on Jolicoeur exiting that final corner. Parsons might have a little bit more wing here. Losing some straight line speed down that main straight. Samad now has recovered. He's back up to 7th. Only now 2 seconds off of Kevin Miller in 6th. So great recovery here from Samad. Way to keep his nose down here and not freak out
really
after that incident.
And of course he's had some help in front, and as you note that, I'm watching Mark DeGraw closing up on Chris Moses. He has really taken out some time on 5th place Chris Moses. So 4th place. Oh wait, 4th place. 4th place.
Yeah. Really nice job there from Jack Ivey getting out of the way of these front runners. Keep an eye on this here between Samard and Miller. Miller's best lap was 16.7. Samard dipped into this. Yeah, his last time by was his fastest lap, 16.2. Parsons got it to under a second here. Meanwhile, Miller sets his personal best race lap. Under after seeing Samar there at his mirror.
Boy, yeah, Parsons really did drop off the pace there, allowed Jolicoeur to get up and get past, but since then Parsons has refocused a bit here and is holding pace nicely.
So These guys are going to go halfway. They're going at lap 23.
Yeah, they would have come in by now if they're if they're making a two-stop. But boy, a long way to go for some of these guys that ended up with that first turn damage. Look, half the field right now still running probably has some type of damage.
Ekman's starting to close back in here on Parsons. This could come down to the pit stop here, getting in and out of the pits. Jolicoeur tends to have make very quick pit stops, so we'll have to see that how that all plays out here coming up in just a few laps.
DeGrasse kind of looking ahead for some lap traffic to get by and makes a mistake coming through a second gear corner. Well, he's giving up some time, but not position at the moment.
Yep, he's back on track here. He's got to take it easy after going off there on the tires, getting debris on the tires. But Samard, Miller makes a mistake and gives up that spot to Samard. So Samard now up to 6th. So Samard has been really lucky here, taking advantage of guys. Ekman in the pits.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is late for a two-stop and early for a one-stop. So that's an interesting choice here. Going to be difficult. The
problem with the early stop, looks like he may not be dealing. Yep, Houston's going to make his way past. But if he gets mired in some of this traffic that we just saw going into turn 1, he's going to end up losing time here. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, Parsons, again, close to Jolicoeur here for the lead. Working lap 19 of 46.
Yeah, 16-1, so the pace has really come back to Aaron Parsons. Probably following around in Jolicoeur's wheel tracks a bit, kind of help him reestablish the line and refocus a bit. So, yeah, it's on. Moses not too far back. DeGrasse, we know his pace. Samard is coming on. He's going to get his damage repaired, so it's going to be one whale of a second stint. Oh, you're absolutely right about these pit stops coming. They are going to be pretty critical for the guys who plan on winning this thing.
So what these guys are from? Moses, best lap 16.6. Oh, I'm sorry, his last lap was a 16.6. We're in a 16.3 best so far. Burke in the pits. So, if Ekman filled it full of fuel, 3 seconds off of Houston, he's got a bit of a gap. Made some nice laps. He may be battling for the lead of this race once these Jolicoeur and Parsons come in.
Well, maybe, but I tell you, you lose so much time with that heavy fuel load on these cars. It's such a dramatic difference in overall pace. Well, we'll have to see, but I think in the end he's...
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, no! No, I think in the end he's still fighting for third. Samard's gonna be charging here, so I'm kind of keeping an eyeball on Samard. Once he makes his pit stop, he's gonna be charging out of the pits.
So, in case...
I'm interested to see just how far back up Samard can get.
Yeah, Jolicoeur last time by 16.5. carrying 10 kilograms more ballast than Parsons. Oh, Parsons bit of a moment there, giving up some time.
Yeah, Parsons crushing laps right now in the low 16 range.
So if you joined us late, big incident in turn number 1 to start the race. Many drivers collected. A lot of attrition here tonight. We got 16 guys running, had 24 start the race. So Mexico has really been pretty devastating. Some of these guys had some.
Yeah, really. I mean,
some surprise qualifiers up near the front.
Yeah, it was a big blow to some team points here potentially. John Houston, of course, got shuffled back. A lot of people going out. He's recovered, but PMR's Matt Taylor going out. We talked about getting back there, but it was trouble at the front. We talk about mistakes happening and you get caught up in the middle of the field, but this time it happened right at the front and kind of continues throughout. So
working lap 22. Let's see if Parsons decides to come in early. Nope. These guys are going to stay out. Yeah, everybody's going to stay out. Parsons again sets his personal best lap. Really closes up on Jolicoeur under the brakes there. Samard now sets fast lap of the race, 15.7, so he is flying. Up to 5th now, only 2 seconds off of DeGraw.
Yeah, he's holding pace with the leaders, no doubt, and, well, we'll get to DeGraw in a moment. I have some thoughts on DeGraw here after we get our pit stops. I'm saving it. You always like to be first. Sorry, go ahead.
I just got to wonder if Houston had a mistake. Oh, he's in the pits. Ekman's passed.
I was going to say, if you're Parsons, you always want to come into the pits first, if you possibly can, because you just don't want to come out behind the guy again. So it gives you a better chance.
Parsons in. Jolicoeur is going to stay out.
Difficult pit lane. This is what caught Lemansky out.
Moses in.
Okay, so maybe these guys with a bit of a tire advantage. That is, well, especially Parsons. Maybe get. Oh, Moses has to back up into a stall out.
Oof, that's not good.
Actually, got it done pretty quick. Probably only lost a second or two.
Let's see where Ekman is in all this. Parsons, he's away. He's on track. Ekman is... Oh, it actually worked out. He didn't lose that much time. I mean, bunch of speed here, and no, I didn't get held up all that much.
No, wasn't too bad. It could have been worse, that's for sure. The main thing is he was able to hold good speed after that stop, and boy, I'm not sure what Joel's fuel situation is here, because it seems unlikely to me he could turn those type of lap times, having to take the extra fuel on board he would have needed. But we'll see.
Last time by was a 16.7. Jolicoeur in the pits. This is going to be pit stop for the race. It could turn out to be that way. It's going to be nip and tuck here. Let's see, Joel.
Philippe is off pace. Philippe's out of fuel out.
He stayed out an extra lap. Unreal. Okay, Jolicoeur is away. Ekman has gotten past Parsons for second. Jolicoeur coming out. Where's Ekman in all this? So Ekman now 1.7 off of Jolicoeur. Jolicoeur comes out in the lead. Where is Samard? He is inching coasting to the pit lane.
Unbelievable.
So he's gotten it in.
I don't know that. I just don't think Joel could hold that type of pace with the fuel he would have had to take. So we'll see.
You think he's got to make another stop?
The fuel is such plays havoc with the performance. I just don't see how he could have held that pace and to make the pass on Parsons like that so easily and pull away. Maybe with the tire advantage, having them hot, but I'm not sure.
Oh, Ekman on the softs.
What? Oh, so yeah, well those definitely won't last. So he's gonna have to make another stop.
Ooh, Samad is out. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Another big shake up here tonight. So, Ian must not know this. So, Ian, we saw last week getting a little confrontation with John Houston at Montreal. He's figuring, well, maybe he knows or he doesn't know that Ekman's on the soft, but we'll see if he fights Ekman here for this spot, or if he just lets him pass.
Yeah. Well, the French Connection can't lose the Jolicoeur points right now. I mean, he wants to win, and Ian's going to fight pretty hard for it, no question about it. But, boy, you got to be careful now. If you're Ian Jolicoeur, you have to have these points.
Joel's going to get him here. Oh, got the lift there on exit.
Yeah, those softs already overheating on that final corner.
Meanwhile,
boy,
Parsons
makes a big difference.
Oh. Well, Parsons is alongside these guys, but
boy, Moses was a pretty slow stop. I wonder if that just came down to damage repair for Moses. It was only 5 seconds off, on that pit stop rotation.
Ekman all over the back of Jolicoeur. Some traffic up ahead.
Wow. Couple more cars to go, and half this field will have been eliminated from this event. It's been a while since we've seen this, Al.
Yeah, we'd expect to see it at other locations. Monaco, obviously, but not at a place like this.
Or the first. Yeah, I mean, and not this deep into the season, too.
Let's see. Okay, Ekman's should have a run here. Jolicoeur may have a tow here from the car in front. Side by side into one. Ooh. Ekman easily makes his way past.
Nice move, and
Parsons now. I have to check up there. That's allowed Parsons to get past. So your new leader now, Joel Ekman.
Yeah, and Ekman's gonna do everything he possibly can to stretch that advantage while he's on the soft. While they still work. But for how long, I don't know.
So, while Jolicoeur allowed Ekman pass, or just didn't put up much of a fight. At the moment he slowed down. That allowed Parsons to close up and turn that into a 4/10 lead over, or drop it to a 4/10 lead over Parsons. Parsons, nice exit out of the final corner.
Yeah, and it will be full push mode now for Aaron Parsons. It's, you know, they need his points too, the championship leaders, but at least he's the only guy left up there, right? Well, with the exception of DeGraw and Lemansky, I guess. But, all the other teammates have gone out. So
yeah,
Houston's back there, and he's helping them out with points if something happens to Parsons. So he can freewheel it a little bit more than some of these other guys, I think.
Yeah, as we run now, Jolicoeur would pick up 2 points. The French Connection would pick up 2 points on T-Block. But Houston currently in 9th, so actually, that pays what? Actually, I think T-Block would actually pick up points on French Connection.
Yeah.
But
and Houston, Houston should still be able to pick up some spots too.
Parsons just unable to close up to Jolicoeur where he needs to do that final corner. Really good through here under the braking. Really closes the gap up, but loses him a bit in second three. And that's what we saw in qualifying. That's how good they were the best through the final second.
Yeah, good point. And you know, we did see Parsons have that great first late race stint, or first stint pace, right, over Jolicoeur. So if that plays out the way it did last time, then Parsons gonna have quite a few more laps to try to make the move.
So Ekman's already after making that pass on Jolicoeur, he's rocketed it up to a 4.5 second lead over Jolicoeur. Oh, Parsons takes it wide.
That was close. I'm pulling for the guy. Hey, if Ekman can make it work somehow, some way, that'd be great. I just don't see it happening.
Field is spread out as they are. Closest battle on track is this one here. Jolicoeur and Parsons. Taking a look at the front runners. It's Ekman leading his first laps of the season here. Followed by this battle we've been watching most of the night. Jolicoeur in second. Parsons in third. These guys approaching some lap traffic. On to these guys for a moment.
Well, lap traffic's a lot less than we would have expected otherwise, really. So many retirements, so that's something.
So let's see, Ekman pitted on what, lap 18?
19, I believe. 18, 19.
So 18. Just said fast lap of the race with a 1:15.6. So the tire's still got life.
Still going for now. Boy, it's just scary, that final corner. Boy, if you have to lift because of the fronts through there, wow, they're really getting hot.
Alright, so a little further back is Chris Moses. He's about 8 seconds off the battle for third. DeGraw running in fifth. Ricker back in sixth. This would be his best finish in a short season. Only a couple races he's run so far this season. Doing well. Peter Burke back in seventh on the soft. John Houston back in eighth. Kevin Miller into the pit lane in ninth. don't know if he's got an issue. Ryan Robbins is going to take over that spot. So he's up to 9th. Miller 10th. Myers in 11th. Jake Feemster 12th. Carter 13th. And Ryan Story. Final running car in 14th.
Yeah, so Parsons, Moses, DeGraw. They run that order in the championship standings. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th on this track in this race. So all three of those guys looking pretty good. And yeah, I was going to mention DeGraw a little earlier. I had 3rd in championship points. And he had an opportunity chasing down Moses there, which is why I kind of reserved judgment to mention anything until we saw those pit stops. Made a bit of a mistake and sit back off that Chris Moses time, but he's holding pace with Moses at the moment.
Miller still in the pits. He's nearly 2 laps down. He's leading early in this race. So, train is falling off the rails a little bit once again here after a great qualifying performance. 2 races in a row.
The good news, yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, the good news is you got 13 laps left. You know what? They're going to click by pretty quickly. Running only a minute 16 or so, so pain will be over shortly. But hey, I'll respect anybody motoring along despite the trouble they run into. You know, you just got to fight for it. Ooh, Ekman is in, Al.
All right, so Ekman has come into the pits. So Moses should take over. He has already taken over that 3rd spot. DeGraw is away. Should come out. He will come out ahead of Ricker. So Ekman's coming back out on the softs. So you're gonna wonder that strategy call, Brad. Why start on the mediums?
I can only assume he thought the rest of the guys would be doing a 2-stop, and so he went with an alternate 2-stop type strategy. Clearly didn't work. I mean, look, if the guys aren't stopping a third of the way through the race, then you know that they aren't doing a 2-stop strategy, right? So might have dropped the ball there a little bit, but nonetheless, it's still a heck of a run in 5th. And you know what? As 10 seconds up the road is 4th place Mark DeGraw. Given his pace there on that stint, he's got a shot to get him. So it's still there for him.
So what has been the closest battle the entire night, this Jolicoeur Parsons fight. Looks like, ooh, there's Peter Burke. Looks like it's going to run that way to the end. Don't want to miss any pass for the lead here. You got Ricker and Burke a little further back.
Yeah, I'll stay on that battle, Al.
Yeah, it's pretty clear at this point that Parsons is better through the first 2 sectors. Here's where it starts to... This section here is where it starts to come unglued here for... Not unglued, but it's where Jolicoeur really performs better than Parsons does. It's got to be a couple tenths closer to Jolicoeur to get this final run here through this corner to work and catch a draft.
Well, Parsons had plenty of time to see where Jolicoeur may be weak, so he's been running behind him long enough. But Parsons is running out of laps at this point, right? So only some 10 laps left to run. If you're Aaron Parsons, you better start to think about where he's going to make that move.
Loses a little bit of time there.
Peter Burke making a late race stop here as well, so I didn't even neglecting to see he was on a 2-stop strategy as well.
Yeah, he was on the softs. He's going to move Houston up to 7th.
And not really making too many inroads into Richter. In 6th place is John Houston. I thought he would be having a bit better pace after a stop than he has shown so far.
A little better that time by for Parsons, but still not close enough. These guys approach some lap traffic. That is Burt, who moves nicely out of the way. Bit of a bobble there for Jolicoeur, gathers it up. Ooh, Parsons with a look on the inside.
Yeah, it may come down to Parsons having to try to make his move in the twisties, which is really not, not where you want to be trying to make your move. But both drivers showing a lot of poise here. They have been running nose to tail for quite a few laps. I mean, 2/3 of the race basically so far. As it continues that wide entry into the final corner, and I guess he knows what he's doing, but I didn't find that really to be necessary, Al. The car seemed to hold relatively well on a good line. A shallower entry than that to me.
I haven't talked too much about this, but Moses has been slowly creeping up to these guys. Gap was 10 seconds after the stops. It's down to 6.5. His best lap 16.2. Last time by was a 16.6. He's kind of out on an island there at 3rd by himself, so he may just be resigned to just run his laps there. He's got a boatload of time on DeGraw.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. He might have found a skiff on that island, because you're absolutely right. If he gets within 4 or 5 seconds, he's going to think he's got an outside shot at the deal. Particularly if these two tangle, because Ezra really does want the position, and he's not going to play it too conservative here, I don't think. So he's still waiting for a good opportunity, but I suspect he will try to make one happen if he can't find one of another variety.
mph down that straight. Oh, we got a car facing the other way. That's Brian Story.
Ekman now within 6 seconds. That was 10 just about 4 laps ago, so still about 1 second gained there.
I mean, his pace on the mediums was good. I wonder if he had opted for that one-stop strategy, how it would all turned out for him.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It could be he accidentally selected the softs on his stop, right? I suppose that's a possibility.
Tell you what, it's the closest Parsons has been exiting here. Ooh, that's a little bobble there, taking it wide.
And these cars do generate some aero wash, so that could also be affecting Aaron Parsons here, stuck behind Jolicoeur. That's as high speed as it gets through there.
If you're tuning in, we got 6 laps to go here. This is round 6. Mexico, 1988 version. We're going to be running Mexico, the modern version, in the GT cars in a few weeks here, Brad. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
The whole stadium section, pretty cool.
It's going to be great. Yeah, can't wait.
Ooh, Parsons with a little bit. That's a little bit of that grass there on entry.
I think the overall pace by Parsons, I think, probably is slightly better than Ian's. I mean, obviously he was able to hold with him pretty well, but just cannot get by.
Next week we are in England. Round 7 from Silverstone. So it should be fun to see those cars go around that place. Fortunately, they don't have the older version of Silverstone with a great.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Some of those great corners, bridge.
That final sector was just
fantastic. I mean, a lot of guys don't. I enjoy the track, but definitely prefer the older layout than what it is now.
Yeah. Ekman still making that charge for 4th place to Gras. Oh!
Yeah, Parsons with a bit of a bobble there, giving up some time to Jolicoeur. Having a wrestle. That's giving Jolicoeur a little bit of breathing room there. Working lap 42 of 46. Moses is now under 6 seconds, but running out of laps here. DeGras in 4th. Ekman owns a fast lap of the race with a 15.6, and he is really doing his damnedest to catch up to DeGras here and snatch away that 4th place.
I think he's going to have a go at that position by the end of this race. As you say, the laps do wind down quickly. Houston as well, maybe an outside shot for that position. So a few positions potentially in doubt as we close out this event at Mexico.
Let's see, DeGras last time by a 17.2. Ekman, well, 16.2, full second quicker than DeGras on the medium tire, as Brian Story is he's got his hands full. Ricker closing in. Houston closing in on Ricker here in the final stages. That's a 2-second gap between those two guys.
This is when the cars are really at their best. Almost nothing left in the tank. This is really when the cars want to go.
3 to go. Parsons again closes up to about a half second on Jolicoeur. It's a race we've seen a lot more of attrition than we expected leading into tonight's race. A bit of mayhem at the start, which has not been the case on the Monday League, despite the difficult nature of these cars to drive around. These guys have really performed well throughout the season, but not so tonight.
I think this is just down to aero wash. I think that's Parsons just can't do anything with it. He can't get off that turn 13, whatever it is.
Yep. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, he's great in the first 2 sectors, but we saw that move for the lead. We saw Jolicoeur get a nice exit off the final corner and managed to pull Parsons going into one. It's turned out up to this point to be the move of the race. But the way things have been going with only two ooh, Jolicoeur takes a little wide. But
yeah, Parsons actually did too. Followed him.
Houston now sets his personal best, dipping into the 15s. Matching his teammates' lap time. So there, Parsons is close here to Jolicoeur. 4/10. This isn't bad for Parsons. I just don't think this straight's long enough. He's going to force Jolicoeur into a mistake. It would have happened 30 laps ago. He's too
You would think so.
Yeah, right? It's not happening up to this point. Myers now with a 15.7. Whoa! Parsons all over the back of Jolicoeur. Kevin Miller now sets fast lap of the race at 15.5.
And it's really easy to be defensive in this part of the track as well. If you make a bit of a mistake, you can kind of jump back in and guard the line. Not saying that happened. I'm just saying it's possible. Ekman within about a second now. Houston right up on Ricker.
Yep, Houston all over the back of Ricker. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, one to go here, folks. Oh, Moses has closed it up to under 5 seconds to the leaders. Ekman now all over DeGraw. Not close enough. Just a couple corners to go here. Parsons all over the back of Jolicoeur. He's got to get a good exit here if he wants to pull him down the straight. He's not going to get it done. It doesn't seem that way anyway, Brad.
No, he's as close as he's been, but you got Arrow Wash coming through the final corner here as well. And boy, that's going to do it.
Yeah, Jolicoeur is going to take his second win in a row here, this time in Mexico. Great finish. Moses takes home third, but that's going to be reviewed here for sure, what happened there in the opening laps. But meanwhile, DeGraw and Ekman doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to snatch away that fourth place. But regardless, what a result for Joel. Finishing in the top 5. Ricker, meanwhile, is going to try and hold off John Houston here. Now Ricker's going to hold on to that 6th spot. Not a great result. Houston 7th. Robbins, last car on the lead lap. Another great result for Ryan. Finishing in the top 10 here tonight. Well, there you have it, Brad. That's it. Jolicoeur, your winner here tonight. Let's see if we can have a word with him. Ian, do you copy?
Hey, boys. How are you?
Wow, what a result here for you tonight. I don't know if you were expecting to finish in first, but You guys locked out the front row. Your teammate Samard had a great qualifying session. Both you guys with a great qualifying session to lock out the first two positions there. But started that race, had a little bit of contact with Moses going down the straight, and then not sure if that threw him off or what, but he got into the back of your teammate, and man, things really unfolded from there.
Okay. I'm just kidding, boys.
But
that's to Houston. He told me to do that this week.
But beyond,
I got lucky, boys.
yeah, but I mean,
I gotta
talk
apologize.
about that and your battle. I mean, that move you made on Parsons and just that whole race, you were nose to tail with him. It's unbelievable.
I gotta apologize to Moses there. I did not see him. I didn't see the little red dot. It was behind my steering wheel and my screen, like at the bottom of the screen. I didn't see him on the right. I want to apologize to him off the start. I was trying to draft Samar down to the first corner there. Just have a nice, easy first corner, and we had contact, and it was not intentional. So I'm sorry about that, Chris. But other than that, man, Aaron can put the pressure on, can he? I'm shaking right now. That was a hell of a race.
Yeah, well, from our vantage point, it looked like, well, surely Parsons, it looks like he'll be able to get by. He's certainly got enough laps to do it, just never could. What do you think was the difference? What kept you out to take those back-to-back wins?
We trimmed the car out tonight with the final corner and the long last straight, so we could keep it flat through that last corner, or try to anyway, with a little bit of balls. And I think that's what gave us the win tonight. Aaron must have been running a bit more downforce than us, and just tried to hit the marks, hit the apexes in one and two, and that was the only place you can really make a reasonable pass here. I took your advice from last week there, Brad, and I figured Ekman was on a different strategy. I just moved over and let him go, and came back into the channel asking the boys if he was on soft tires, and everyone was in the zone. But luckily he was, or he would have trounced all of us tonight. But good run by him, and good run by Aaron, and my apologies to Chris for that contact at the beginning.
Well, Ian, you're going to be carrying 40 kilograms going into Silverstone next week. That's a tremendous amount of weight. I mean, didn't seem to affect you here too much tonight. I mean, all the guys around you were carrying weight aside from DeGraw, but I mean, that might be a tall order next week to make it 3 in a row at Silverstone with all that weight.
I think you're right. Yep, it's not going to be possible next week, but with the momentum course tonight, it was not quite so painful as Philippe showed in qualifying there. He put down a ripper. That was impressive.
Well, congratulations, Ian. Another great showing here tonight, and thanks again for putting on a good show. That was pretty impressive. Nice job.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Brad. Great watching these broadcasts. Keep it up. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
All right, well, there you have it. Round 6 in the books. Jolicoeur taking the win 2 in a row. Parsons recovering after last week's debacle there at Montreal, finishing in second. Moses taking third. But the story of the night, Brad's going to be all the retirements here tonight in that first lap.
Yeah, no question. I think could be talking about this one for quite a while. Might be talking about it. They're coming into the last race of the season, and and if it's going to decide who ends up being our overall champion for our season 23 here, or 43, whatever it is. But beside that, I mean, it's a pretty interesting race, right? And what is not so good for one driver is good for another. We did see some great drives. Richter made a great drive. Of course, Joel Ekman looked like with perhaps a bit of a different strategy, he could have been up there fighting for the lead himself. So that was fun to see. And of course, Ian Jolicoeur, those back-to-back wins. Hey, man, that is tough to do around here. So very impressive for those guys. And T-Brock Dam Bam going to pick up some championship points, but the damage for the rest of the guys could have been a lot worse. Moses finished pretty well. He's going to take home some good points. It's really Samard. He's losing out. So our championship leader, Philippe Samard. So he's losing out on points. Everybody's going to be moving up some spots as a result. So looking forward to next week.
Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. We're going to be back next week at 9 from Silverstone. But until that night, we are back this Thursday for...
And you might be muted, I'm not sure.
Nope, hopefully you guys can hear me, but... You copy? Hello? Okay. You hear me now? There we go. My wonderful microphone. But anyway, we'll be back next week from Silverstone, 9 p.m. Eastern. Until then, we'll be back Thursday night from Spa for the Spa 400 kilometer feature
Yo, Al!
race. Hopefully you guys hear me. If not, have a good night. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Oh, okay.